want to tell you about 3 different women. The first one watched her husband get laid off after 20 years with the same company. She'd been working part-time, and suddenly part-time wasn't going to cut it. The second woman realized that the job that she'd had for years wasn't paying the bills anymore. Not because she was doing anything wrong, but because the cost of everything went up and her paycheck didn't. So she had to get a second job. And the third one is me. I'm 55, I'm going through a divorce, and I spent years as a stay-at-home mom. I've been out of the traditional job market for long enough that getting back in at my age is not the straightforward path most people assume it would be. None of us planned for this. And you never want to believe it could happen to you. And yet, here we are. So today I want to talk about why building your own business, specifically an online business, isn't the backup plan, it's the plan. The one that doesn't require anyone else's permission or approval or willingness to hire you. Here is something that's happening right now that very few people are sharing. The job market is quietly screening women over a certain age out before anyone even looks at what they can do. You send in a resume with 20 years of experience and hear nothing back. You watch positions go to people with half your experience, twice your proximity to whatever the market has decided is the ideal candidate. And if you've been out of the workforce for a significant period of time, raising kids, running a household, supporting someone else's career, the gap on your resume speaks louder than anything else on it. It doesn't matter what you learned during those years. It doesn't matter how many skills you developed managing a home and a family and a life. None of that shows up on a resume in a way the market values. And I know this because I'm living it. And I know women who are living it too. And the feeling of being quietly told that you're not hireable when you know exactly how capable you are, that is a specific kind of humbling that stays with you. So if you're over 40 and you're relying on the job market to take care of you, or relying on someone else's income to take care of you, I want you to sit with how fragile that arrangement actually can be. But to wake you up to something that you might not want to look at yet, because looking at it now while you still have time to act is the most empowering thing you can do. So when I started really looking at what my options were, building my own business online was the thing that made the most sense. Not because I had it all figured out, because it was the only path that didn't require someone else to decide I was worth investing in. Nobody has to hire me. Nobody has to look at my resume and decide whether the gap is too big or my age is too high. Nobody has to approve my application or offer me a position or determine my value based on a 30-minute interview. I get to build something that's mine, on my own terms, at my own pace, around ideas that I actually care about, and the economics of it makes sense in a way that most other options don't. An online business doesn't require the overhead of a brick and mortar business. You don't need a storefront. You don't need inventory or employees. Not to scare you, you need a laptop, an internet connection, and a willingness to build something from scratch. And if you go the affiliate route, you don't even need to create your own products. You build around an idea that people can get behind with your lane, your message, your perspective, and the products that you recommend fit naturally inside that ecosystem. That's a business model that's available to anyone with a clear idea and the willingness to do the work. The barrier to entry for an online business is lower than almost any other path, and the ceiling is as high as your vision. That combination, the low barrier, the high ceiling, no gatekeepers, is why I believe that this isn't a backup plan. It's the smartest plan A that you could make right now. So here's the thing I wish I could go back and tell myself 10 years ago. Prior to the divorce, before I needed this to work, when things were stable and comfortable and the idea of building a business felt like a nice hobby rather than a necessity. Build it now while you still have time, while you still have options, and while it's a choice and not a requirement. Because here's what happens when life forces the situation. You don't get to build at your own pace anymore. You don't get the luxury of figuring things out slowly. You need income, and you need it soon, and the pressure of that changes everything about how the build feels. I'm building under pressure right now, and I'm doing it, and I will make it work. But I would give anything to have started building this foundation years ago when I had the margin to do it without the urgency. So if you're watching and your life is stable right now, I want you to hear me clearly. Build it before you need it to save you. Not because your life will necessarily change the way mine did, but because having something that belongs to you, that generates income independently of anyone else's paycheck or anyone else's decision to keep you employed, is the most powerful form of security that you can create for yourself. The best time to build was years ago. The second best time is right now. And right now is available to you today. So here's the takeaway. Building a business after 40 isn't a desperation move. It isn't what you do when everything else falls apart. It's the most clear-eyed, strategic, empowering decision that you can make for yourself and your future. An online business with low overhead, no gatekeepers, a ceiling as high as your willingness to build. That's not plan B, that is the plan. And it doesn't have to be complicated. Start with your lane. Figure out what you stand for and who you want to help. Lock in your message, build a lead magnet, and start your list. Show up consistently somewhere that your content can compound and build from there. And if you want to know exactly where to start, like what your lane is, where your message needs work, what assets to build first, the Authority Audit will show you, and the link is in the description below. I'd love it if you'd drop a comment before you go. And answer, are you in the season of building by choice or building by necessity? Either way, you're here, and I'm glad you are. And I will see you next time.